In this video, I'm going to discuss a market cap weighted black owned stock portfolio. So before, in a previous video, I documented 10 different black owned stocks, and in that case, they were equally weighted. So today, I'm going to show you how to market cap weight them, just like I have done with the cryptocurrencies. So let me go ahead and share my screen, and we'll get right to it. Okay, so I had to do a lot of finagling with numbers, so it wasn't a complicated process, but it did take me about 30 minutes to do this. So you may have seen this chart from a previous video. I've taken off all of the numbers that show how much they grew, and I just have the market caps listed. So you see how I added the market caps up. And then I took each stock, RLJ, Urban One, Broadway, Ping, Axum, Global Blood Therapeutics, Harmony Gold, Anglo Gold Ashanti, Jumia Technologies, and then I have NAACP ETF, which is basically a mutual fund that invests in companies that promote racial justice. So I'm going to first go over the market cap weighted portfolio without the NAACP's fund, and then I'll go over the one with it being combined. So first, the one without. So you can see, you might be able to see in the Excel how I did this, but I'll go ahead and zoom in. Here we go. All right. So hopefully you're able to see this pretty well. So really all I did was add them all together, and then I got this number. So this number you see right here that says percentage, this is where I took the market cap and divided it by what you see in the yellow that says excluding. And then I averaged these two columns together to get these numbers. And then I rounded them. Okay. So let me just go over the percentage in each one, because really it's very tedious, the process to figure this stuff out. So RLJ Lodging Trust, which invests in hotels like Wyndham, you would put about 12% in. The first Urban One class, think Class K shares would be 1%. The other Urban One, 1% as well. Broadway Financial, which is a bank, a black-owned bank, the only one in California, you would put 1% in that. Ping Identity, which is a tech firm that protects against identity theft, you would put 14% in that. Axum Therapeutics, you would put 15%. Global Blood Therapeutics, you would put in 16%. My understanding is that Global Blood Therapeutics, I may have mentioned this in the previous video, they treat sickle cell, and then Axum Therapeutics does groundbreaking research in Alzheimer's studies. Then you have Harmony Gold, which is the black-owned South African company, at 15%. Then you're gonna put 17% in Anglo Gold Ashanti, and this company was formed by a merger between the governor of Ghana's gold company and the South African company De Beers, which owns most of the diamonds in that country. Then you have Jumia Technologies, which is considered the Amazon of Africa, and you would put 8% in there. So as you can see, 12, 1, 1, 1, 14, 15, 16, 15, 17, 8 add up to 100. So that would be the portfolio without NACP. So I'm actually going to show you what that looks like. So this is what it'll look like. I'm just going to leave it on here for a little bit so you can pause it if you like. But this basically shows each one. You see Global Blood Therapeutics, so it just tells you which ones to put in. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And it's 10 stocks in that portfolio. So it's all right there. So if at any point you go back to this video, Because remember, equally weighted, you would just put 10% into each one because it's 10 stocks. But if you want to try market cap weighting it, you could do this. One thing, and I don't know whether you'd want to do this or not, but if you have two different brokerages, let's say that you have Robinhood and you have Webull, and Webull, you might want to put some money into market cap weighted with black owned stocks. And in Robinhood, you might want to experiment with equally weighted. And you could have other investments in there, of course, but it would just be interesting to see whether the market cap weighted or the equally weighted for these particular black owned stocks, which one performs the best. So let's go to the one with NACP. So with RLJ with NACP, 6%, Union One, and Broadway Financial would all be 1% each. Ping would be 7%, Axum would be 7%, Global Blood Therapeutics 8%, Harmony Gold 7%, AngloGold Ashanti 8%, and Jumaya would be 4%, and NACP would be 50%. And this is the portfolio that I proposed at the end of my original video where I said to equally weight them. I recommended that instead of just having those 10 and putting 10% in each one, my ultimate recommendation was to put 50% into NACP and then put 5% into the 10. Because NACP tracks companies, not just ones that's black owned, but just companies in general that fight for racial justice and social justice. So you can be confident that your investment is going to go to a good cause, and at the same time, you can have higher returns potentially. And because NACP is a fund, it's an ETF, is lower risk than investing in individual stocks. So that would be a good way to diversify. So now I'm going to show you what it would look like with NACP. And like I said, you could experiment with equally weighted with NACP, having 50% NACP, 5% in each one, in each of the others, or doing market cap weighted, where you just have 50% in NACP and then 6% in RLJ. Now you see that 2% in Urban One? Remember, that's 1% in Urban 1K, 1% in the other Urban One. But the rest of these are exactly the same. Let me count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so that includes all of them. Just don't forget that about Urban One. If you need to, look back at the Excel sheet. But really, it's not a big deal if you do put 2% in one of the Urban Ones, because they kind of tend to track similarly, since it is just different class shares of the same company. But it is a huge media conglomerate, so that's why I recommend holding both types of shares. But you can always just put them in one, because it would just be 2% of your portfolio. So it's not as crucial as in the equally weighted portfolio to have it in both. So that's basically, I'll leave it on here for a little bit. So that's basically how you would have it set up. I could have gone through how I figured these numbers up, but it would just be way too time consuming. And I figured that it would be a lot easier for y'all to just go by these charts and just see them. Because like I said, you just boom, you look at the chart and you can see it right there, And if you want to, just fast forward through the video until you get to this part. Just fast forward through the video until you get to this part, yeah. And then this is the one with NACP. So that's what I would recommend. That's what I would recommend. And I'm thinking what I'll do, I'm going to make some more videos about different stock tips as far as creating portfolios and investing in stocks when they're close to reaching their 52-week highs. So I'll try to release that either later this week or next week. But I think I'm going to revisit some of these stocks. I'd recommend, if you want to start off small, start off with $100, $100 increments. That's really easy, because if you're investing $100, 50%, you put $50 in. One thing I'm going to say about NACP before I go is that it doesn't have fractional shares. So right now, NACP is worth how much money? Let's see. $30.18. You can't buy right now because the market done closed, but $30.18. So if you have $100 and you want to put 50% in, you would have to do $60.36. But that would only leave you with let's see, okay, $60.36. Yeah, that would only leave you with 39 something. Probably 39.62. 39.64. 39.64, that's right. So in that case, if it leaves you with that much, then you'll just have to take 39.64 and multiply it by these numbers. Because the rest of these are fractional. The rest of these are fractional. So it may be easier to just invest a certain amount with this pie chart, right? Invest a certain amount and then just invest in whatever you invested in here. Just invest an equal amount into NACP rounded to the nearest number. That may be a lot easier. So it may be easier to look at this, and let's say you invest $100 into this pie, and then you just buy 3 shares of NACP in addition, which is close to an additional $100. So you'd have like 190, close to $200, and uh, basically half of it would be in NACP, probably 40, more like 45%. But you get the general idea. That may be easier to do it that way, so that the fractions don't get too complicated. But anyway, I just wanted to give an update. I'll stop sharing my screen. I just wanted to give an update about black-owned stocks because I made a video about them being equally weighted. I figure I'd talk about them being market cap weighted, and I just decided to put more graphics on there with the charts and everything, simply because equally weighted is easy to remember. You just put the same amount of each one, and if you're gonna put NACP at the end, you just put in 50 and 5 in the others. But for market cap weighted, it's hard to remember the percentages, and it might not be the easiest to see on the chart. So to make it more engaging, I just decided to go on ahead and put them all in a pie chart on Excel today. So I thank y'all for listening. Y'all have a good one.